Hey, it's Brandon from Baby Blue Memories. Please like and subscribe. Each subscription gets us closer towards achieving our goal of 1,000 subs. Now, enjoy the video. Hello to you, and welcome to game number 10 of the Class of 2020. As we see in the last game, the first portion of the semifinal complete for tomorrow, at least the consolation semifinal. As Toronto, the Tigers are in fourth, and meanwhile, the third place team, of course, Glasgow. So that means the winner of this game will play the Tigers, the loser of this game will play the Clydesiders. Wendake against West Bay wearing, I don't even know what color this is, multicolors to say the least. And meanwhile, Wendake, they are not so fancy, wearing white with red, ball controlled by West Bay. Now the Bombers walking right in. Here's a quick shot, and that one is whistled wide. It's the Bombers. And Wendake both 0-2. And here's a quick shot off the mark, and that'll be a shot clock violation. So both teams, as we mentioned, 0 up, 2 down. Both teams lost the Bishops and the Res Dogs yesterday. Those two teams will be playing afterwards to determine who finishes in first place. Become the Akawaka, losing the ball as Robert York made the play, picked back up by Wendake. Here's a shot, score! A shot short side which gets over the shoulder of Pat Poirier, and it is 1-0 Wendake. Or Wendake, sorry. It's a good start for them. After really a difficult first game of the tournament yesterday. They came up short in the game against Bishops. This was not a very pretty sight for them. And then against the Res Dogs, they looked a little bit better. Scooped up by West Bay in the Wendake zone. Here's a quick shot off the screen. Trickling, and it's not going to go in. Good save by the Wendake netminder. By the way, I believe it's Ogie Morin. So that's the gear, sorry, I believe, in that for Wendake. Sorry, for Fred Renault in that for the Aquawitcha. As West Bay look to get started up. 1-0 game. 17.5 remaining. West Bay comes back. Here's Statham, a long shot, which sails wide of Renault. Comes back out the other side. And a shy from 60 feet out lands on, and Renault makes the save. Wendake looks to pick. Wendake starts back. Having some trouble breaking out, and a good hit. And there's a steal by the Bombers, and they'll get the fresh 30 here. West Bay working it around. It comes back up top. Shot by Laporte. Does not hit the net. Stuck in front, and the Bombers regroup. Scooped up by West Bay. Here's a drive from 55 that does not hit the goal. Shot again, and that one's going to be countered by Renault. And Wendake scoops it up. And it's elevated past center. And away comes Wendake. Nick Louis threw the ball away. And it'll be scooped back up by West Bay. And away come the Bombers, getting into West Bay, into Wendake territory, and they got to slow up and put the brakes on. As they bring it back in, Laporte threw it out in front. There's a huge pick on one of the Akawitcha. Watch us. Here's a long drive, which is not going to go out the other side. They score, and the game is all square at 1 goal each. Here you see 15:45 to go here in the first half. West Bay and Wendake all leveled at 1 goal each. Here in Game 10 of the 2020 Chuck Baranowski Winter Classic. 2 more games coming up today. Of course, Kahnawake taking on. They will be playing Letterkenny, and then the Res Dogs going at it against Bishops. And there's a huge hit away from the play, and some rough stuff going on over here to our right. Just because these two teams are not going to the semifinals doesn't mean that there's not going to be a lot of heat. Both these two teams desperately would love to have a win. And maybe if you get the 2 wins here, which of course is what's going to happen tomorrow, with one of the teams in the consolation bracket, one team will get into place by winning 2 games tomorrow, finish above 500 essentially. Shockers did score! Laporte blows it by and has leveled the scoring up at 1-1. Well, I was just going to say that one of the things West Bay would like to do is maybe see if they can get a couple of wins in a row, or 3 wins in a row here. Of course, this game and then the 2 tomorrow. Because the 2 tomorrow, of course, would elevate them into 5th place and have them finish 3-2. Same thing with Wendake. Ball controlled by Louis, trying to find Laguerre, and now it's scooped up by West Bay, and the Bombers bring it into Wendake territory. Just under 14 to go. Bombers on top. And here's a shot from a sharp angle. Not going to hit the target. Comes back out the other side. 12 seconds to shoot. Laporte scoops it up. Lets it go from 55. Bouncing by Renaud! But he's got it. And back comes Wendake. Of course, a small community just outside of Quebec City. And here's a drive by number 11, Laguerre, not on, and it's a breakaway opportunity for West Bay. They score! And the Bombers, it's bombs away here for West Bay as they have taken the lead. Now up by 2 with 13 minutes to go here in the first half of this game. Now Wendake's just going to have to settle things down a little bit here because West Bay clearly has all the momentum on their side. But it's not a good start for them though as the Bombers come back in control of the draw. Lead pass over the head of Statham. Kicks it back to himself. One hand on the stick, and now it's given away, and back comes Wendake. Shot from a sharp angle. That one countered by Poirier, who's looked sharp since that first goal. And now we've got some rough stuff going on, and Statham taking exception to one of the Wendake players, and we have a second player from each side kind of jump in. He was not a happy camper yesterday with Statham in that Bishops game. We're going to have 2 players going to the sin bin, it looks like, 1 for each side. As we mentioned, the games yesterday, the second halves, really, of both games were really heated. The first games of the day, except for the Letterkenny-Glasgow game, there were 3 games which, felt like there was more like teams were feeling out one another. They weren't necessarily intense, or at least noticeably much more intense than any other game. But then the second halves of the game yesterday they were fiery to say the least. As the shot comes in, and that's not going to hit the goal. Got a slashing call, I believe, coming up away from the plate, West Bay. So Wendake will go to work on the power play. It's a high stick, actually. And now West Bay has to kill off a penalty. So Wendake has looked a little off in the last 5-6 minutes or so, but now they have a good chance to get right back in this one. Hamilane lost it. West Bay going after the ball. And it's the Bombers who come away with it. A chance right in there, and Renault counters it. Scooped up by Wendake, but illegally, so the Bombers will retain possession in Wendake territory. Bombers in Wendake territory. Remember, if the blue line is the restraining line, so a little bit less space to work with here in the rink. The master side slightly smaller as well. Now the ball rolls out in front. A shot from a sharp angle doesn't hit the goal. Bombers got it. One last chance. Deary shoots, and that's going to go wide. Or sorry, Desi, 93. And we have a penalty coming up to Wendake, so that's going to level the sides. As you see, 9:39 left to go. And the Bombers up by 2. It's 3-1 West Bay. Coming up after this, of course, Letterkenny and Onawage, as well as the Res Dogs, going toe-to-toe with Bishops. The top 4 teams who will be playing in the semifinals tomorrow. We already know who our 4 semifinalists will be. Bombers with possession to the left of the Wendake goal. Basso throws it out in front. Good chance here. That one's countered by Renault. Wendake turns it over. And now we got some pushing and shoving away from the play. This is the second heated confrontation of the afternoon already. As the official will step in here to break things up. It's not just any kind of battle for third place in the division, that's for sure. It's the second time we have seen this, and I believe we're going to have a stoppage in play, as the officials would love to kind of get caught up here. 3-1 Bombers leading the Doggy, but that is not the score. A second consecutive minor disagreement, dare I say? Nothing seems to be so minor about it now, as both teams have been heated. Both teams are 0-2, so you know that, I mean, the emotions are going to be high because the teams are pissed off. But they don't want to be in an 0-2 kind of role. But yet, here they are. Well, if you're just joining us, Wendake opens the scoring, but 3 unanswered by West Bay have put us in this at the stage. The Bombers lead at 3-1. We're going to take a quick pause here and come back once all this is sorted out. West Bay comes out of this with the possession. It'll be Basso giving one up. 5-on-4 Bombers. As it like it was originally, a shot comes in, Renault counters it, and the ball bounces up. And it'll be West Bay in possession once again. Centering feed right on Renault. Counters it. Picked up by Wendake, and now the Kawacha look to break out. And back they come into West Bay territory. Still short-handed. There's a feed over. Settled back in by the Kawacha. Here's an opportunity, but the possession is knocked away and stolen by the Bombers as West Bay makes their move up to the center. And the Bombers look to get restarted here. Basso gets the return feed. Sends it over. Desi to the right side. Here's a drive, and that one is blocked. Comes back out in front. Oh, and a big collision. Bars the ball free. Sorry, Desi's actually simping. Marc-Andre Laporte is number 23 as a shot comes in. Now, both sides are even at 5-on-5. And the ball goes back into Bombers territory, scooped up by Poirier. And West Bay looks to come back. 6:40 left to go. Bombers in control, leading this one 3-1. West Bay trying to get one off here. Here's a shot through traffic around the screen. Save made. And some more pushing and shoving. That Statham in there again with one of the Kowachas. Looked like it. Back comes Wendake. Here's a feed. A bouncer. Doesn't go. Sent back out by Gros-Louis. And Wendake looks to reset. Here's a drive, and oh, that one's fanned upon. And it'll come back into Renault, who has to come out and play it. Pressure was applied by West Bay. Shot clock down to 12, so Wendake actually still with an opportunity to get one off here. Gros-Louis. And a drive does not hit the target. It bounces back to Wendake territory, and West Bay will gain control with 5:50 to go. And the Bombers on the left-hand side of the goal. Played over to the left-hand side, back out in front. Quick stick will not hit the target. The ball deflects back into Bombers territory. Poirier comes out of his net to play it. He has Laporte lurking. Laporte with a 100-foot pass to the right side of the net. Shot clock down to 1. Shot is blocked, and now the Bombers will turn it over. It's a shot clock violation against West Bay. Leading Wendake 3-1. As Gros-Louis brings it in. Laguerre, and a quick shot by Maxwell. We not on. Or no, it was stopped by Poirier, and now it deflects back into Wendake territory. The Kawacha will reload here, bringing this one into Bombers territory. A pass down low for Gros-Louis does not connect, and the Bombers force the turnover. So get down to the last 4:40, and it's thrown away by West Bay. Back comes Wendake. And a quick stick attempt foiled, and the Bombers will scoop one up. York waits for help. It's brought back into Wendake territory. 3-1 lead for West Bay. Played up top. A shot through traffic, hit a leg, and deflects back at the Bombers territory. Netminder Poirier comes out to play it. Scooped up by the Bombers. Just 4 minutes remaining here in the first half. And that'll be thrown away by West Bay. Shot clock violation. And Wendake brings it back into West Bay territory. Play to the left-hand side of the goal. Louis spinning. Sent it down low. The pass fails to click, and Poirier intercepts it. Tries to throw one up, and that one got caught in the ceiling. So the turnover by the Bombers. 3:20 to go. 3-1 lead for West Bay. Here's a shot coming in, and that one's shouldered away by Poirier. Now, he gave one up that he probably would like to have back, but since then he has been lights out in nets for the Bombers. Here's another drive. Poirier gets a piece of that one too. Oldest player on the senior side of the circuit, Pat Poirier, at 50. And this one thrown into the corner. Ball's on the right-hand side of the aforementioned Poirier's goal. And it's scooped up by the Bombers. Back comes West Bay, looking for reinforcements. And they have one as Statham catches the ball at center. Gets it over to the right-hand side. They drive in, open lane. And the ball trickles in, he scored! Or no, penalty shot. Well, it's 3-1 with 2:16 to go. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens here. Seen one penalty shot earlier today on the Masters side. Bombers leading Wendake by a score of 3-1. Let's go. It's time for a penalty shot. Can West Bay up the lead up to 3? Let's find out right now. Here they come in. Scores! And the Bombers are up 4-1 with 2:16 remaining in the first half. I believe the defenseman diving into the crease actually used his glove to prevent the ball from crossing the goal line, and that's why it was ruled a penalty shot. Picked up by Wendake. Wendake still in possession of the ball. Down by a score of 4-1, they bring it into West Bay territory on the left-hand side of the Bombers' goal. Played out. Ball deflects loose in the slot. And they can't quite get a shot. Good slide defense by the Bombers. And Wendake turns it over on the shot clock violation as West Bay comes back. 1:25 to the remaining. Statham brings it in. Statham on the right-hand side of the goal has a man open shot, and that's going to be countered by the stick of Renault. Approaching the 1-minute mark of this. Ball's on the left-hand side of the West Bay net. Here's an open lane shot. Does not hit the goal. It bounces back into Wendake territory. Shot clock down to 2. And that'll be a violation on Wendake. So it's West Bay possession. Down to the final 30 seconds of this first half. Here's an opportunity. They score! And the Bombers are now up by 4. It's 5-1. This, of course, Wendake's made it to the finals of the Senior C circuit earlier this year, or at least in the summertime, so last season. The final 10 seconds are going to tick off. The Bombers on a 5-0 run to end the first half, leading this one by a score of 5-1. And here we go with the second half of this game. West Bay in control on a 5-0 run to end that first half. So the Bombers looking really good after giving up the opening goal of the first half. We'll see what happens here as Wendake in the white with red playing from our left to right here in the second half. West Bay the hippie style jerseys, I guess you could say, with Super Bomberman on it, played from right to left. Wendake in control of the ball. Here's a shot by Louis, a shoulder save made by the West Bay netminder, Pat Poirier. And the ball deflects and stays out of the crease. Max Louis with the steal. Sorry, that's Nick Louis, number 4. Max on the opposite side. Here's a feed out in front. Picked up in a shot through traffic, sails wide, and it bounces back into Wendake territory. West Bay on the hustle. They have it. And the Bombers slowing things down here, trying to get a full line change going. On top of Wendake by a score of 5-1. Ball's on the right-hand side of the goal. Centering feed. Lands wide of the net, scooped up by Renault. And Renault waiting. And that is a 5-second call on Renault. So Wendake with the turnover. Nathan trying to present himself. Playing on the left-hand side. And we have a illegal screen called against the Bombers. So turnover after turnover to start this second half. There's a feed out in front. And a big hit in front of that West Bay goal. This has been a very spirited game too. It's been pretty chippy. There are a couple of instances where it's pretty chippy. Louis driving in, has it knocked out of his stick, deflects by Poirier, scooped up at the lip of the crease by the Wendake team, and now West Bay scoops it up. Away come the Bombers up the center, looking for some crushed legs out there. Here's a chance from close range, and that one is covered up by Renault. Wendake looking to start the break. Get as far as the West Bay blue line. Of course, the blue line's not in actual box across. And there's a turnover in the Wendake zone, or a near turnover. York was up fishing. Here's a drive by Louis. And that one is covered up by Poirier, who has looked really strong since giving up that first goal as the Bombers bring it back. Ball's on the right side of the net. Here's a shot, and that one's countered by Renault. So in addition to the turnovers, both teams have gotten some shots off. There's another turnover, though, by Wendake. And the Bombers are in control. the netminders have looked pretty solid as well. Here's a drive from 45, right on. Renault answers it. And the Wendake gets started back. It's a little over 16 minutes to go. Wendake trailing this one 6-1. Or 5-1, sorry, against West Bay. Off a screen, and the ball comes out. And a high check will give Wendake a fresh 30. Feed out in front is intercepted, and away come the Bombers. Played up to the left-hand side of the goal. Back comes West Bay in Wendake territory. Trying to drive in. Good slide. Still in possession, though, were the Bombers, but now the ball is finally knocked away by the Akiawacha. We have a Wendake player who is limping back to the bench. Laguerre sent it over. Here's a shot. Save made. And it is covered up by Poirier. West Bay brings it in on the left-hand side, or on the left-hand side of the Wendake net, up by a score of 5-1. The Bombers have not, Wendake has not scored in over 22 game minutes. Scored early in that first, they had the very first goal, and since then, West Bay's defense has come out to play. Don't forget, in that game yesterday, which they played against Bishops, they only had 2. And they went over one half's worth, so over 20 minutes without scoring yesterday as well. So they actually were tied up at 1 with Bishops. As the shot comes in by Laguerre, that one shouldered away by Poirier, who's got it now. And then, of course, Bishops went on that run. And today, they were up 1-0, and now a 5-0 by the Bombers, and it gets 6-0, and West Bay scores short side, and the Bombers, well, it's all systems go right now, as Basso puts one in short side to give West Bay a 6-1 lead. There you see 13:30 to go. The Bombers are in control of this contest. And I believe the Akiawacha player was in early, he was in the dots, and that's why West Bay has possession of the ball. Here's a shot, which is blocked, and now it trickles back into West Bay's end of the rink. Scooped up by the Bombers. Here is a drive, which is stopped. A rebound! Renault with a solid save on that attempt. As Wendake brings it in. Here is a drive, which will not hit the goal. And West Bay gains possession. Of course, Wendake also has a field lacrosse team, senior men's field lacrosse team. Ball's on the left-hand side of the goal. Here's an opportunity, which is fought off in a crease violation anyway on the Bombers. Wendake in possession. I was wondering if they counted those as actual shots on goal. Pass out front, and a shot by Laguerre is countered by Poirier. I'm a goalie, so I always do. Field lacrosse, I even count shots off the posts as goals because, hey, the save percentages for the netminders needs a boost in that game. Here's this crease pass broken up, and the Bombers start coming back into Wendake territory. There's a pass out in front, broken up, And now we've got a whistle and too many men on the floor to call. And it is power play time for the West Bay Bombers. Closing in on the 11-minute mark here of this second half. West Bay up by 5 goals and on the power play. Here's a shot which is stopped by Renault, and the Bombers get a second opportunity. Statham causing some mayhem in front. A shot will not hit the goal. Goes out of play. Wendake will retain possession, or attain possession, inside West Bay territory. Well, they will enter West Bay territory now. On the left of Poirier. Scherer, double team. Royal Wee trying to go in there to present himself. The ball bounces behind the West Bay goal, and the Bombers are in control. Bringing it up past center. Played to the right of the goal, back out in front. Good opportunity, they score! Power play goal. And the Bombers now lead by a score of 7-1. .9:40 to go. So it looks like West Bay will get their first win in the tournament, and the Bombers would go up against Toronto Tigers, while Wendake would have to take on Glasgow. But they really turned things around yesterday, did the Clydesiders. Remember, they were struggling for a little bit in the second halves yesterday. Losing to Letterkenny and then losing to the Mohawks in games where they were right there in the second half, and then just unfortunately couldn't keep it together for second half. And here we go with the face-off. West Bay Bombers and Charles Lamel in control on top of Wendake by a score of 7-1. Ball trickles into Bombers territory. Poirier comes out of the crease to scoop it up. And back come the Bombers as they bring it in on the left-hand side of the Wendake net. Turn over to the right-hand side. Here's a drive by Statham, blocked. He takes a man to the goal, but it's Wendake who scoops it up behind their own goal, looking to break out. Here they come, cross that. Now on the left-hand side of the target. Here's a shot. They score! It's Wendake who is able to get one 7-hole right through the armpit of Poirier, and it's 7-2. And there you see, fortunately the clock had never gotten started, so 9:40 remaining. Still, it might go down as like 2 goals scored at the same time, no? Ball won by Wendake, but West Bay attains possession as we have a push on the back. Ball coming up to Wendake, so it's West Bay possession. Mohawks and Letterkenny after this, as well as the Red Dogs and Bishops. Those are the 4 teams who are going to the semifinals. Bombers and Wendake, two teams will be playing in the consolation semifinals. Good kick save by the Wendake net for Fred Renault. Statham out in front. Here was a shot, and that one is kicked away by Renault once again. Out in front again, and they tuck it home. Third time's the charm for West Bay, and they are now on top 8-2. It's Briere getting the goal. And they add one here. Just for a little bit of good luck, I guess. Bombers lead 8-2. And, they got fifth place games or the semifinals, consolation semifinals, all the teams still have something to play for. That's the one thing. There is still something to play for tomorrow. As West Bay comes up with the steal. Basso takes the pass and gets one over. Leslie walking right in. Nobody picked him up. Now he plays it over on the right-hand side of the net. Bombers walk right in. Here's a shot, and it's a crease violation on West Bay. And we have another Wendake player limping back to the bench. Wendake brings it back. (8-2) lead for the Bombers. Louis coming in, let one go, and that did not hit the goal. Scooped back up by Wendake. Here is a shot, which is not on. Picked up by Laguerre. He shoots, and Poirier knocks it down. Poirier bounces one up. And the Bombers settling things down. It over. And the pass sails wide, scooped up by Wendake. Back they make their way over into West Bay territory. Centering feed. Laguerre shoots, could not tuck it in short side. And the Bombers come back. There's a feed out in front. That pass sails wide to Statham. Picked back up by the Bombers. Here is a shot. Kicked away by Renault. West Bay scoots it back up. Out in front. Backhander! And that's a crease violation on the Bombers. Wendake ball. Here's Louis sending one over on the left-hand side of the goal. Maxwell spinning his way to the goal. Backhander! Good stop there by Poirier as we are under 6 minutes, 5:55 remaining. As the Bombers bring it in. Poirier bounced it over to the right-hand side for Tugboat. Tugboat shooting one, and that one is countered by Renault. Boulder out there as well. And now Wendake comes back on the right-hand side of the West Bay goal. Here's a shot by Louis, and he puts it in between the legs of Poirier, and Louis got his second. Wendake makes it 8-3, and there you see 5 minutes remaining here in this contest. Bombers in control of this one. 4.5 remaining here in this contest. West Bay on top 8-3 against Wendake. A bounce pass to the right-hand side of the net. Statham presents himself. Let's it go. He is going to bury one. You see him tuck it in far side, low past the left foot of Renault. And Statham has made it 9-3 with 4 minutes to go. So, West Bay will improve to 1-2. Wendake will fall to 0-3. It's sent up to the right-hand side of the West Bay goal. Here's a drive, shoulder save made. Laguerre on the rebound, spinning. Can't pull the trigger. Good help defense by West Bay. Laguerre gets a pick from Louis. Coming back. Laguerre spins back out. Louis to the right-hand side. We got a hot holding call or a high sticky call coming up to West Bay. It is a hold, and Wendake will go to work on the power play. Wendake in possession. Hamilton sends it over. A shot and a good stop by Poirier. 3 minutes remaining in this contest. Pass goes by Laguerre, but he scoops it back up off the hop. Laguerre to the left-hand side. Picked back up by Wendake. Out in front. Opportunity. Oh, what a stop by Poirier. And he sends one up. And the ball is going to be turned over by West Bay. So back comes Wendake with 2:15 remaining. Laguerre to the right side. Gets the return feed. Backhand. Here's a shot. Chest save and a rebound scooped up by West Bay. And a lead pass. Settled in by the Bombers. Perfect pass out in front. Backhander! Save! A rebound! And they can't stuff it in. 9-3 Bombers leading this one. And they are killing a penalty. Desi called for the free hand, I believe so. Wendake in possession now. They will come back. Just a little over 90 seconds remaining in this contest. Up front. Here's a feed out in front to the side of the goal. They can't connect. Pick back up by Wendake. Louis down low and the pass misses the intended target. Pick back up by Laguerre. He shoots. That one goes wide. It clears back into Wendake's zone. Shot clock violation against the team from Quebec City. Here's a chance. That does not hit the goal. It's a crease violation anyway on West Bay. Wendake with the ball. Now to 45 seconds remaining. There's a hit. We've got a high sticky call coming up against the Bombers. So Wendake will end this game with a power play. Trying to get that end this one on a high note too, heading into consolation semifinal, which will take place against Glasgow later on today. A feed out to the side, and that one stopped by Poirier as he slides over to make the save. Here's a drive. Save again by Poirier. Louis, save again by Poirier. And that's it. This game ends 9-3 West Bay. The Bombers go up to 1-2. Wendake falls to 0-3. And West Bay with an impressive victory this afternoon. So we'll see you later on. Of course, the consolation side of things, West Bay will go at it with the Toronto Tigers. And Wendake will play against Glasgow. I'm Brian Corner for Baby Blue Members. Only Giwai.